Vladislav Soloviev. Biography. His career. A brief overview of Vladislav Soloviev's biography. Name: Vladislav Soloviev. Date of birth: the 14th of May 1973. Age: 49. Place of birth: Moscow. Marital status: married, is raising a son. His occupation: political scientist, analyst, publicist. Early years of Vladislav Soloviev. Vladislav Alexzndrovich Soloviev was born in 1973 in the city of Moscow, in the family of ordinary middle-level workers. His father was a designer engineer in a compass construction bureau and his mother was a bookkeeper at the same company. In childhood, he was into history. In high school he went to locations of historically important battles, such as Borodino. Vladislav was not a social child. He preferred the Moscow libraries to judo and karate classes, popular among his peers at the time. Education. In 1996, he successfully graduated from the Moscow Institute of Technology and Management. His parents insisted on him getting an engineering profession. That's why in a year after finishing the institute, Vladislav Soloviev enrolled in the Stankin MSUT, but soon dropped out on his own accord. Career. He worked as a junior economist in the joint stock financial corporation Sistema, Uniland. But the career of manager in a large-scale holding company didn't attract Vladislav Soloviev. He got into political science in 2010. He wrote analytical articles and reviews for Russian and foreign outlets. New newspaper. Free Thought. Political Science. Russia in Global Politics. Polis, as well as online platforms. He is known for vivid and profound articles on the topic of the global crisis of public and political life, about which Vladislav Soloviev has been writing since 2014. Vladislav Soloviev and articles about Deripaska, Abramovich, Putin. Since 2015 he has become an independent political scientist and economic expert, blogger, publicist, columnist of a number of famous socio-political portals. Vladislav Soloviev conducts journalistic investigations, publishes analytic materials on famous Russian corporations and their higher-ups, including Oleg Deripaska, Vladimir Putin, Roman Abramovich and other Russian and foreign entrepreneurs. Vladislav Soloviev consciously distances himself from any political parties and holds independent views in politics and economy. His strong and vivid statements on state and socio-political topics, reviews of the state of the world often provoke criticism and arguments, but always find their reaction among various segments of the population. As with any political scientist with independent views, Soloviev has his own ill-wishers who accuse him of various sins, including conspiracy and even mysticism. If one wishes to, one, indeed, can see the certain signs of a conspiracy theory in the number of materials of the blogger, but in general, the author always relies on factual information and science-based research. Fortunately, education of the economist and political scientist always allows Vladislav Soloviev to justify and defend his point of view. Some articles and statements of the political scientist can, indeed, be called controversial. This includes materials on religious topics, in which he calls Islam and advanced Christianity and tries to unify these denominations. However, the author quite rarely ventures into this territory. The topic that is closer to him is degradation of political and philosophical thought in modern society, replacement of true human life goals with consumers' imperative v. Soloviev's term. According to the blogger, just 30 to 40 years ago, an average person possessed the freedom of thought and had the opportunity of intellectual development, but today such a privilege is available only to a few chosen ones. The political scientist believes that this situation is the result of deliberate actions of the elites operating in all modern socio-political communities in the European Union, USA, Russia, China and other countries. Beginning in the spring of 2022, Vladislav Soloviev increased his public activity and started writing new material in his blogs, social media communities and topical channels almost daily. Views of the political scientist on the actions of the Russian Federation in the period of SMO, special military operation, do not always match the general party line, but always reflect an independent point of view of the author who is used to always relying on common sense, facts, and logic. The political scientist is trying to open the eyes of his readers and followers on things and events which those either do not see or simply do not want to. Vladislav Soloviev is even read by those who do not agree with his views on society and economics, as the materials of the political scientist always sound at least original and fresh. They force people to rethink a number of established templates and patterns concerning public and political life.